If I asked you, how would you like more economic freedom? You would probably yawn and go looking for another funny cat video, wouldn't we all? But if instead I were to ask you, how would you like more money in your pocket? Well, then you'd be interested, right? But the reality is, more economic freedom and more money in your pocket are actually pretty much the same thing. And the greater a country's economic freedom, the greater that same country's average wealth per person. And it's pretty clear cut. There's this thing called the Economic Freedom of the World report. And it's a report on the economic freedom of the world. Countries are given a ranking based on 5 things. The smaller their government, the fewer their regulations, the freer they are to trade, the better protected their property rights, and the more sensible their monetary policy, the better their ranking. And, surprise, surprise, the countries with the greatest economic freedom just happen to be much, much wealthier than countries with less economic freedom. The top 10 freest countries in the world include Hong Kong, Singapore, New Zealand, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, Mauritius, Finland, Bahrain, Canada, and Australia, which, if you look at the list, also happen to be very wealthy countries. The 10 least free countries: Algeria, Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi, Central African Republic, Angola, Chad, Zimbabwe, Republic of Congo, which apparently isn't the same as the Democratic Republic of Congo, go figure, Myanmar, and worst of all, Venezuela. Pick a list. Where would you rather live? The top 25% of economically free countries are typically 9 times richer than the bottom 25%. And even the poor in those economically free countries are typically 10 times richer than the poor in economically restricted countries. And it's not just about money either. Everything, from poverty to civil liberties, women's rights, and even life expectancy, is much, much better in economically free countries. What's pretty clear from this report is that if you want a better, richer future, then you need more economic freedom now. In this year's report, Australia is ranked 10th in the world for economic freedom, which is pretty good, and helps to explain why we are one of the world's most prosperous nations. But here's the bad news. Last year, we were ranked 5th. We've fallen 5 places in 1 year. Why? Well, the report blames too much government, too much regulation, and bad monetary policy. That might all sound a bit highfalutin and abstract, but what that means in practical terms is that the long-term outlook for Australia is worse now than it was a year ago. And that means you can expect it to get harder for you to pay your bills and make ends meet. So, what can we do about it? Well, it's pretty simple really. Economic freedom is just another way of saying low taxes, low regulation, secure property rights, the freedom to trade or not trade as you see fit, and sensible monetary policy. These are the things that we need to see from the Australian government going forward. Because if the Australian government allows Australia to become more economically free, then as a consequence, we'll become more prosperous, and that means more money in your pocket. If you'd like to take action and do something to help to improve Australia's economic freedom, then I suggest you check out the Australian Taxpayers Alliance and support their campaigns for less taxation and less regulation. My name's Topher, and I'm trying to make the future a better place with less government and more individual liberty. But I need your help to do it. So please share this video and help me to help you.